Welcome back, coin collectors. Let me ask you something very important right at the start. Have you ever taken a close look at the dimes in your pocket, your change jar, or maybe an old coin roll sitting in a drawer? Because today we're talking about two Roosevelt dimes that most people completely ignore, yet under the right circumstances. These small 10-cent coins may be worth hundreds of dollars. I'm talking about the 2001 P Roosevelt dime and the 2004 P Roosevelt dime. They look ordinary, they spend like pocket change, and millions of people use them every single day, without realizing what they might be holding. But collectors know the truth. Value doesn't always come from age or silver content. Sometimes it comes from condition, minting quality, and rare errors hiding in plain sight. So before you spend another dime, watch closely, because you may already own one of these valuable coins. Let's start with the 2001 P Roosevelt dime. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is identified by the small P mint mark located near the date on the obverse. The Roosevelt dime design has been in use since 1946 and features President Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by John R. Sinek. The composition of the 2001 P dime is a copper nickel-clad structure, with a pure copper core sandwiched between two outer layers of copper nickel. It weighs 2.27 grams, measures 17.91 millimeters in diameter, and has a reeded edge. On the front of the coin, you'll see Roosevelt facing left, the word Liberty running along the left side, In God We Trust just below his chin, and the date 2001 to the right. On the reverse, you'll find the torch in the center, symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength, along with the words United States of America and one dime. Now here's where things get interesting. The Philadelphia Mint produced a very large number of dimes in 2001, which is exactly why people assume they're all common and worthless. Most of these coins entered circulation immediately and picked up scratches, bag marks, and wear. Because of that, finding a 2001 P dime in truly high-grade condition today is surprisingly difficult. Collectors place strong premiums on coins that survive in mint state condition, especially those graded MS67 or higher. At that level, the coin must have strong luster, sharp details, clean surfaces, and very few visible imperfections even under magnification. A typical circulated 2001 P dime is worth only face value, but an MS65 example can sell for several dollars, while MS67 examples have sold for $75 to well over $150. In extremely rare cases, nearly perfect specimens graded MS68 can bring hundreds of dollars at auction. Another major reason the 2001 P Roosevelt dime can be valuable is mint errors. Errors are mistakes that occur during the minting process, and they are highly collectible because each one is unique. One error to look for is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not properly centered between the dies, causing part of the design to be missing, while the rest is shifted toward the edge. As long as the date and mint mark are visible, off-center dimes can be worth anywhere from $50 to $200 or more, depending on how dramatic the error is. Broad strike errors are another possibility, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, resulting in a coin that is wider than normal with a distorted rim. These can also command strong premiums. Die cracks and cuds are also worth checking for. Die cracks appear as raised lines on the coin caused by cracks in the minting die, while cuds are raised blobs of metal where part of the die has broken away. Larger, more dramatic examples are especially desirable and can easily push the value of a 2001 P dime well beyond face value. Some collectors also seek out proof like business strikes from this year. These coins were not intended to be proofs, but they display mirror-like fields and sharp details, giving them exceptional eye appeal. Proof like 2001 P dimes can sell for significantly more than ordinary examples. Now let's move on to the 2004 P Roosevelt dime, a coin that surprises many collectors once they learn what to look for. Like the 2001 P, this dime was struck at the Philadelphia Mint and uses the same copper nickel-clad composition and Roosevelt design. At first glance, there seems to be nothing special about it. Millions were made, and most people wouldn't think twice about spending one. But the real story lies in strike quality, condition rarity, and one of the most important designations in modern dime collecting. One of the biggest value drivers for the 2004 P Roosevelt dime is something known as the full torch designation. On the reverse of the dime, the torch has horizontal bands across it. For a coin to qualify as full torch, these bands must be fully separated and sharply defined, with no weakness or blending. Due to high-speed production and worn dies, many 2004 P dimes were weakly struck, especially on the reverse. As a result, truly full torch examples are much scarcer than the mintage numbers suggest. A 2004 P dime graded MS66 with a full torch designation can be worth $40 to $80, while MS67 full torch examples have sold for $150 to $300. In exceptionally rare cases, coins graded MS68 full torch have reached values of $400 or more. Errors also play a big role in the value of the 2004 P dime. Doubled die errors are among the most desirable. These occur when the die itself is misaligned during the hubbing process, resulting in doubled letters or numbers on the coin. Look closely at the word liberty, the phrase "In God We Trust," and the date. True double dies show clear separation and thickness, not flat or shelf-like doubling. Strong double die examples can easily sell for $50 to $250, depending on visibility and demand. Die chips and retained cuts are also known on 2004 P dimes. Small raised blobs of metal near letters or along the rim can add collector interest, while larger retained cuts can significantly boost value. Even without major errors, high-grade mint state examples of the 2004 P dime are increasingly difficult to find because most were released into circulation quickly. Coins graded MS67 or higher are scarce, and prices reflect that scarcity. When checking your own dimes, you don't need expensive equipment. A good light source and a magnifying glass or phone camera zoom will work just fine. Look closely at both sides of the coin. Examine the torch bands on the reverse, search for doubling on the letters and date, and pay attention to overall condition. One very important rule to remember is never clean your coins. Cleaning removes original surfaces and can destroy collector value instantly, even on coins that might otherwise be worth hundreds of dollars. So what's the big takeaway here? The 2001 P and 2004 P Roosevelt dimes prove that modern coins can still be valuable, even without silver content. Condition, errors, and strike quality matter more than most people realize. A dime you've ignored for years could suddenly become a prized collectible once you know what to look for. That's why every coin collector should slow down, inspect their change, and never assume a coin is worthless just because it's modern. Before you roll those dimes, before you spend them, and before you dismiss them as common pocket change, take another look. Because hidden among ordinary coins are rare survivors, mint errors, and high-grade examples that collectors are actively searching for right now. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. Let us know if you've ever found a valuable dime, or if you're going to start checking your change after watching this. Until next time, happy hunting, coin collectors.